If you work a desk job, this might sound paranoid at first, but stay with me. Because AI isn't just helping you work anymore. It's not just speeding things up, it's not just writing emails or summarizing meetings. AI is quietly watching how you work, how fast you respond, how you think, how you prioritize, and how you structure information. And most people have no idea this is happening, because it doesn't feel like surveillance. It feels like assistance. In the next few minutes, I'm going to explain what AI is actually learning from you at work, why that matters more than people realize, and the one behavior that silently puts some office workers at much higher risk than others. And once you see it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Here's the uncomfortable truth right up front. AI doesn't need to spy on you to understand you. It just needs your normal workday. Every email you write, every document you edit, every meeting you attend, every task you complete faster than last month. That's the data. And most office workers think the danger is AI watching what they do, but the real value is in watching how they do it. Because how you work tells a much bigger story. At first, AI is introduced as a tool, a helper, something that makes work smoother. It drafts responses, it suggests wording, it organizes information, and you start relying on it because why wouldn't you? It saves time, it reduces stress, it makes you look more efficient. But while you're using AI, something else is happening in the background. The system isn't just producing output, it's learning patterns. It learns how long tasks usually take, it learns what decisions get approved, it learns which emails get responses, and it learns which work gets escalated and which gets ignored. Not because someone wants to track you personally, but because organizations want predictability. And predictability is the first step towards replaceability. Here's where people misunderstand what AI watching really means. It's not about cameras, it's not about spying, it's about behavior becoming measurable. When work becomes digital, behavior becomes data. And when behavior becomes data, it becomes optimizable. That's the quiet shift. AI starts to understand the difference between someone who completes tasks and someone who moves things forward, between someone who reacts and someone who anticipates, between someone who follows instructions and someone who influences outcomes. And once that difference is visible, it becomes part of how work is evaluated, even if nobody tells you. And this is why two people can be doing the same job with the same title and experience completely different futures. Because AI doesn't measure output, it measures patterns. Patterns like how often you need clarification, patterns like how much rework your tasks create, patterns like how often your work leads to decisions instead of more discussion. And here's the scary part. You don't get to explain context to a pattern. The system doesn't care that you are waiting on someone else. It doesn't care that the request was unclear. It doesn't care that you are being careful. It just sees behavior, and behavior gets compared. This is why AI is so powerful inside offices, not because it replaces people instantly, but because it creates invisible scoreboards. And once invisible scoreboards exist, work stops being subjective and it becomes ranked. Now, most people don't realize this because nothing changes on the surface. Your manager doesn't suddenly say AI is analyzing you, HR doesn't announce a new system that judges work styles, everything looks the same. But behind the scenes, the organization is getting clearer and clearer answers to questions it couldn't answer before. Questions like who finishes things fastest without issues, who needs the least oversight, who creates friction, and who can handle more without breaking. And once those answers exist, decisions get easier. Not dramatic decisions, but small ones. Who gets trusted with more responsibility? Who gets pulled into important projects? Who gets training? And who gets ignored? And eventually, who becomes non-essential? Here's where the real danger kicks in. AI doesn't just watch how you work, it watches how replaceable your working style is. If your way of working is highly structured, highly repeatable, highly predictable, AI learns it very quickly. That sounds like a compliment, but it's a double-edged sword. Because once your working style is understood, it can be copied. And once it can be copied, it can be scaled or reduced. This is why the people most at risk aren't the chaotic ones. It's the people whose work has become clean, templated, and easy to reproduce. The people who made themselves efficient without making themselves essential. And this is where office workers fall into a trap without realizing it. They think the goal is to blend in, to follow best practice, to match expectations, to do exactly what's asked, exactly how it's asked. And for a long time that works, until AI enters the system. Because AI thrives on sameness. us. The more similar people behave, the easier it is to optimize them out. Here's the thought that's uncomfortable but important. If your work could be described as someone like you could do this, then AI will eventually help the company test that theory. So what actually protects you? It's not hiding, it's not refusing AI tools, it's not working longer hours. What protects you is being hard to model. That doesn't mean being messy, it doesn't mean being judgment heavy, it means doing work where context matters, where trade-offs matter, where decisions aren't obvious, where outcomes aren't guaranteed. AI struggles with ownership, it struggles with accountability, it struggles with responsibility when things go wrong. Humans don't. And that is where your leverage lives. The safer roles in offices aren't the ones that produce the most output. They're the ones closest to decisions, consequences, and direction. The people who don't complete tasks but shape what happens next. So here's something practical you can use. Pay attention to what AI tools are helping you do faster. If they're helping you produce more of the same thing, that's neutral at best. But if they're helping you spend more time thinking, deciding, prioritizing, and influencing, that's where you want to lean. And pay attention to how your work is being described. If your value is described in outputs, reports, tickets closed, emails sent, that's fragile. If your value is described in outcomes, decisions supported, risk avoided, problems prevented, that's stronger. Because when AI is watching how you work, it's not asking whether you're busy, it's asking whether you're necessary. Let me know your job role down below in the comments, and I'll let you know how long roughly you have got until AI is to take over your role, and I'll give you tips on how you can optimize this to prevent AI taking your role for as long as possible. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for everything office workers and AI related. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.